So, getting started with the power of the mind. First, we must understand the powerful tool that lives inside our heads is the human brain. And that brain is both the computer and the controller, with our thoughts being the software that directs the brain's functions. Essentially, our brain can be changed, and in turn, our body, feelings, actions, and the external world itself can also change too. And remember, at any moment, you can pause these slides and read anything on the screen itself. Now, the term that best sums up this process is neuroplasticity. This is the ability of the nervous system to change its activity in response to intrinsic or extrinsic, internal or external stimuli, which is just anything. So, external stimuli could be anything you see, and internally can be anything you think. For example, they're just stimuli that mean certain things that your body sees and references and reacts to in some way. So we can respond to intrinsic or extrinsic stimuli by reorganizing its structure, functions, or connections, which proves that the brain can adapt and change our body forever. Before we dive deeper into the science, it's also important to note that the brain does not truly know the difference between what's real and what isn't, meaning that we can use visualization to literally change the way our brain operates. The thalamus. So you'll see it there in that diagram, right in the center of the brain is the thalamus, which is responsible for our brain's reality making process, acting as a gateway essentially for external sensory input to reach the cerebral cortex. All information from your body's senses except smell must be processed through your thalamus before being sent to your brain's cerebral cortex for interpretation. Very hard to pronounce. Your thalamus also plays a role in sleep, wakefulness, consciousness, learning, and memory. So it's a very, very important part of your brain. When you visualize or manifest something, it often involves creating vivid mental imagery. This mental imagery relies on the brain's ability to process sensory information. So the thalamus, as the gateway for that sensory data, can influence how vivid and realistic your visualizations are. The thalamus's involvement in cognitive processes, including learning and memory, is also relevant to visualization and manifesting. These processes are essential for retaining and recalling the mental images and goals you visualize, which can be crucial for the manifestation process. Your personality. In summary, your personality is made up of your consistent actions, thoughts, and internal processes that come together to shape who you are. Now, you'll see why those letters spread out right now. We can therefore say your personality forms your personal reality, as your personality will lead you down certain paths in life, and you can't think greater than how you feel. So your internal world influences almost everything, including the external world. So we must build a new personality in order to create a new personal reality. And how do you do this? Using visualizations. The mind and body are interconnected. So the mind and body works in tandem to relay information and keep us moving. From closing our eyelids to keeping our internal organs functioning, it does a lot behind the scenes that we don't even know or don't even turn on in some way. It just happens automatically. The act of closing your eyes and rehearsing what you're going to do and become begins to install the neurological hardware in your brain to look like you already did it. So a lot of successful people will visualize in a way that they're thinking of what their future self, their ultimate self, their ideal self will feel like, will think like, and just become that future self before it's even arrived. That's the key to all of this. So after multiple visualizations, the brain will no longer be a record of the past, it will be a map to the future. In other words, if you keep installing the hardware, it will become a software program, meaning you will soon naturally start acting in accordance to what your future vision was. In this foundational program, we'll look at the mind-body connection, referencing the motor cortex, the RAS, and many other important tools. in order to give you a true understanding of visualization and the impact on our mind, body, and personal reality.